to the R.A.W podcast, ready, able, and willing, where it's real, rare, and raw. We come on here and spill your growth and how to inspire somebody that's going through something in their life. Here I have you, my brother Bobby D. I'm Vincent. You can call me Dope. I'm going to let my guy introduce himself. Go ahead.
My man, thanks for having me, Vincent.
Yes, sir.
So I'm Bobby Ducat, and 45 years old. Vincent and I have the same beautiful birthday, January 5th. Mm-hmm. But I'm somebody that's really been born twice, and my story, my past is truly a story of trials and tribulations, yes, bad choices, hard learned experience. But I'm here today as a result, and it'll be fun to do this. So thank you for the opportunity.
Man, thank you for coming here, man. Like I said, man, you inspired me so much, man. Like, you don't even understand. Like, this guy, man, he's an amazing brother, man. Like, I can't even explain. Words can't explain how amazing this guy is to me, man. He was brought to me through the spirit, man. So I thought it was only right to have him on my very first podcast, man, my very first interview, because his story is raw and it's real and it's very rare for guys like us to come up from where we came from and to be able to get out of the situation that we was in, man, to be where we are now. It's a beautiful feeling, man. It's a beautiful feeling. So being that said, Bobby, like, what was it like your childhood? Like, where did you come from? Like, where were you born? Like, how was your upbringing?
Yeah, so short of the white picket fence, I couldn't paint a prettier picture for how I come up. I come from two wonderful parents. I had incredible grandparents, two grandfathers that were truly inspirational and led by example. Was always that self-motivated kid. I grew up in Maumee, and not born but raised, and it's really unique because my father, we grew up like kind of a wrestling family. My dad had wrestled when he was younger, and it was always just kind of that, little boy, going after dad, the little lion, always testing dad, and Grandpa was always in on that. I had an amazing upbringing.
Okay.
Very loving family. Was truly blessed and still blessed today. But I was just always that self-motivated, inspired kid. Nobody gonna work harder. Nobody gonna, do it better. Nobody gonna be faster. Nobody gonna beat me in Monopoly. That type, that type of
very
kid.
Competitive.
Definitely. Yeah.
Very competitive. I understand that though, because that's men. That's what I think that's a alpha male's trait, as so quote unquote an alpha male. To be very, very competitive. We can't lose.
My dad would just sit back and go, "Oh shit, what is this?" You had to put a hole in the wall, Bobby. It's ping pong. But it was the truth, anything that Grandpa said he could do better, I was going to be better than Dad was going to be better than. It was just always that very, very competitive vibe. It didn't matter if it was cards, it didn't matter if it was foosball, it didn't matter what it was.
No matter what it was.
Wrestling. I mean, it was just always. But I had that. Always had that kind of fire. Mm-hmm. Dad didn't have to tell me to do the extra work.
Yeah.
Dad was more like damage control in case things didn't go my way. Then it was like, oh shit, we got to get him out of here.
Yeah. But when I first met you and encountered with you, even to now, like, I could tell that you got a certain type of fire in you that it's a drawing spirit that you have. Like, good people gonna draw to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we first seen each other, dude. I don't know, for some reason we just locked in. Like,
right. Who's this dude with bigger muscles than me? Who is this dude?
I was like, who was that guy over there? I don't know, he looked interesting.
It's funny because where we were, we knew something about each other because of where we met. At the SOS spot, but it was like. Yeah. So I knew something about you.
Yeah, for sure.
But I was like, I knew there's something about that we talk about that light, man, that attractive energy or the, whatever that is, you know, it's almost like we're bugs drawn to the light, you know.
Yeah.
But when we see that in people, it's truly mesmerizing how it pulls you in, like you want more. And that same thing attracted me to you too. We meet a lot of people in this thing that we share, and we can love, we can like, but there's those select few that we want to get involved with. Yes, and whether it be, something that you perceivably have that I want, whatever that is, but that's what draws us. And it is a light. There is energy. There's that force that attracts two people to each other, and I'm grateful that grateful for that cosmic pass that God put us in line with each other. Because
I do believe that, and I feel like it was a spiritual thing that when we first encountered each other, like something like it was like just like, I don't know, I'm supposed to meet this guy for some reason.
Hold on, let's talk about how we probably met the first time.
Yeah.
We're about 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
In a certain garage.
In the garage.
In East Toledo.
Yep.
You had to have been there. I had to have been there at the same time. We were laughing about it, and things were a lot.
I'm like, man, such.
Yeah.
Like, man, I do recall you saying your name back then.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy though, because remember I told you my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's my brother.
I've been seeing, over the last, so many years, I've been seeing your brother and stuff like that. And it's like, man.
Yeah, man. So being that said, like, talk about like how did you start wrestling, man? You said you was in a wrestling family. Like,
yeah, so it all started very young, and it's funny. The kids today have so many more outlets and paths to get into the sport than we had.
Yeah.
But back then it was just a matter of always wanting to like get my dad or something like that, and it turned into seeing the professional wrestling on TV. But we were just always scrapping. Dad and I were always wrestling, and it wasn't able to become competitive. I didn't have much path, or there wasn't a clear path to get involved younger. Yeah. And in middle school, we started competitive wrestling, and it wasn't. I was not good at first, man, but I had that, like I said, just that burning desire to be, the absolute best I could be, and it was cool. We everything seems like everything I do, it's like all in, right? Yeah. I'm gonna go all in. So it was immediately all in, and it eventually took over my life. Like I eventually focused solely on the sport of wrestling, and throughout high school.
Yeah, high school. Which high school did you go to?
I went to Maumee.
You wrestled out of Maumee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maumee had some good wrestlers out there back then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember back then it was like, wait, who was hot back then? The schools that was hot.
Man, Maumee always had some dogs. We had some dogs. We weren't the overall, great team. Springfield was real tough back then. Perrysburg was always good. Mm-hmm. Delta was always good. There wasn't like that power. Bedford, Michigan was real good.
Bedford was real good.
Real good.
Yeah.
But there wasn't, like our sport today is being dominated by a few schools in Northwest Ohio, really by one or two, and there wasn't that. I don't really recall that like dominating force, but there were dogs through different schools, and it was cool to eventually be one of them.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's pretty cool. So what was your record like when you was wrestling? I know you was a dog, so
yeah. So it was funny. I'm the, and this tells a lot of my story and about how I am as a person and as somebody with a disease. Yeah. I wrestling was really my first drug. Yeah. And the evidence of the life to come was very obvious, you know, early on, and just that craving, that enough is never enough. But my wrestling rankings and such, man, I was the number one ranked kid in Northwest Ohio. I don't remember, something 8th or 9th ranked, you know, in the state. I was not a superstar. I was willing to do anything it took to win.
Yeah.
I was definitely, you were good. You didn't.
You're gonna know you ran into Bobby Ducat.
It's so funny, the shit that happened. But there was always this kid that the Blade always did the rankings and such things, man. And there was always this kid that I never would have ever got to wrestle at in Bedford. And I never would have seen him, but they always put him number one, Southeast Michigan, Northwest Ohio, and always me number 2. And it was like, damn, son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually, I never, there were never any accolades that followed my the work and the training and the effort that I put into it. I made some really ill-advised decisions that cut my wrestling career as a competitor, and those choices. I don't want to say I blackballed myself, but those choices limited my options after high school. And I ended up wrestling at a little college called R.A.W. In Tiffin. Again, it was just at that point I had some medical issues. I'm one of those people. Back in the day, Vincent, the word concussion never mattered.
No, it didn't.
You got your bell rung, son.
That's it. No, for real. Now it's like, he got a concussion, put him on the bench.
They pound your head a little bit, going, "You all right?"
Yeah,
I am now. But don't ask my name. But I know what I got to do. Yeah. And I ended up having some severe repercussions as a result of concussions. And again, there was no spotlight on it, back then. But I ended up having my competitive career cut short, actually, as a result of medical post-concussive syndrome, those sort of traumas to the brain. Yep. And that was a wrap.
Yeah.
That was a wrap.
Yeah, that can probably be a depressing moment though, for real. Especially for something that you love doing.
Let me tell you what is not the proper rest and recuperation for post-concussive syndrome. Vodka, cocaine, women, partying, and an extreme lifestyle, an extremely fast-laned lifestyle is not recommended, apparently, by the neurologist for proper brain repair.
I definitely understand what you're saying. Yeah. I didn't have concussions, but I definitely made some decisions to deal with certain life issues and pressures the wrong way. So we both have that in common for sure. Being that said, since we're there, so your wrestling career, you had the concussion, and you had to be prohibited to be competitive with it. So what led you, what was the turning point in your life to where certain things started changing? Yeah,
so it was really a lot changed when I got to college. It was kind of like the gloves came off. I mentioned my family before. There wasn't anything I was going to really get away with. Mm-hmm. I tested the waters, but there wasn't anything I was going to get away with. There was always that inhibition to really let loose. Yeah. Because I never got away with anything, So there was always kind of that parental, whatever you want to call it, cap on what I was going to be able to do or really, get away with. But man, as soon as I got to college, the gloves came off. I was this this kid from Toledo, this kid from Maumee, down in small town Ohio, and it was a small liberal arts college, and you know there were girls there, there were there were drugs there, there was alcohol there, and I specialized in all of that. All of that. I got a PhD quick in the in the lifestyle and just that fast living party mentality, and you combine that with that enough is never enough kind of motivation. And when I lost wrestling, it was like now there's absolutely nothing, harnessing what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I can because that was your passion though. You know, that's something that's like your first love, maybe. Yeah. Like, so it's probably losing that can probably make you, man, like, fuck it.
Like, fuck it. Exactly. Like,
we're here now, bitch.
Shit, what's next? So I gave the same passion that I gave to wrestling to this alter ego, this party animal, this fucking, insane figure that I called Bobby D. And I went all in. Yeah. There was never enough nothing. Yeah. You gonna take one, I'm gonna take three. Yeah. You gonna sniff one, I'm gonna sniff 100. Go to bed, pussies. Yeah. I got this.
No, this days. We about to know. You sleep, bitch?
And everything that came with it. It was so important to me to be this larger than life figure. Yeah. And to say I went all in would just be, a gross understatement. There was not ever, if there was a second ticking, there was time for me to dominate it. Yeah. And dominate it back then meant fuck it. Let's get crazy.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, because I done had some nights where I'd have, just coming from where I come from. When things started going terrible, and I squandered a bunch of opportunities myself. So I understand that the whole fucking mode, that's a mode that'll take you to a whole nother realm of life.
Yeah.
Especially when you had drugs, alcohol, and women involved. Oh my God.
The looking back, it's so weird, Vincent, because I was like, I can remember like grade school. Remember Dare?
Coach Dare?
No, Dare.
Oh, like Dare.
The drug abuse resistance.
Yeah, acronym. What was the acronym stand for?
Drug awareness, resistance education. I don't know. We're about the same age, so you got.
I remember Dare.
Yeah.
Who was the president then?
Shit.
Was the first Bush? The first Bush.
He-Man, if you ask me. I voted for He-Man.
But I think it was the first Bush.
G.I. Joe.
I think it was It was one of them though. I remember his wife, the one that came up with that slogan though. Is this your brain or drug? Yeah, man, the fried egg. But it's crazy because I can remember like being the poster boy. Like they had me sing a solo at the Dare graduation in like 5th grade, right? Like I'm waving the banner, son, like I'll never do drugs. I don't know why I just pictured you when you said that.
Yeah. Woo. Drug free for life.
20 years later.
And my parents are certainly not addicts. Yeah. I don't have any recognizable addiction, in the family tree whatsoever. But then there's me. And I was that kid. It was so weird. Like I can remember being the kid that was renting the books or getting the books from the library, like frightening myself about drugs. Like I'm everybody else reading these, books about, stories and all the shit that we read as kids. I'm reading a book called Cocaine. Man. I'm reading a book called Heroin. I'm reading a book, like it was weird that I was getting this education on what not to do. And I believed it. Yeah. I believed it back then. And then as life went on, you know, I was the kid that it wasn't a matter of if I was going to drink alcohol.
When.
It was like, for my group of friends, the kids I come up with, it was like, you know, 16 years old. It was just like, almost like a rite of passage, like in high school, like, that's when we started. You know, it wasn't if. It was, that night was on the calendar for like 3 years. You know, like, one day, I'm going to be at homecoming, we're going to get fucked up. And I nailed it. I hit a bullseye. I wasn't missing. And, but I would never smoke no weed. Well, then weed was an obvious choice a little later in life, because during the winter, during wrestling, it wasn't like I was boozing real heavy. I was always that weight cutting dude and doing all that. And it was like, well, smoke don't weigh nothing. So then it was like, well, let me try some weed. Shit. Found everything I was looking for then too. You know, and I never, even when I met a drug that I didn't like, I always tried to renew the friendship. You know, like, you ever do a drug, you're like, fuck this shit. That's terrible.
Like,
I had the worst experience of my life.
Like, okay, then I went right back to it.
Maybe I did it wrong.
No, literally, like,
maybe I should try that again.
You try the other nostril.
But again, I was that kid like, I'll never put nothing up my nose. You know, and sure as shit, 19 years old, man, I met the powder, and it was like a match made in, you know, in history. It was like the greatest relationship I'd ever, you know, felt. And I immediately was all in against everything I ever told myself, as like you said, like losing wrestling, you know, not gaining the accolades, not succeeding in my own eyes, you know, in the sport as a competitor. And it was just like, man, something gotta fill me, something gotta make me feel good, because feeling like a failure sucks. And man, that's 19 years old, after getting expelled from college for the first time, I met cocaine, and it felt right away. It felt right away. And then there was just never enough. You know, it started like the weekends, you know, we had to arrange for that, you know, to happen. So in between, it was like, how many bags of mushrooms can I get before then? And how many bottles of liquor can I get? You know, you always making arrangements and doing this, and there's colleges around, and you're networking.
It's like a scheduled appointment.
This is before cell phones too, so you're like, you know, I'm sending smoke signals like, well, who's got this new thing, ecstasy? Who's, you know, like, man, all this shit.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir. So, man, that's great, because, like you just said, like in the beginning, it's like you don't expect for it to take over your life like that. You don't, like, because I remember in my addiction, man, I didn't expect. It was like, it was just something I was dealing with to fill a void. You know, mine was a little different from yours. How I started, but I was using on like the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Because things I was going through at times. I wasn't doing on. Eventually, it got to every day. Of course, you know, towards my life, got into a downward spiral. But like you said though, in the beginning, it's like weekend, or, you know, it's like you setting an appointment. Okay, this day I'm gonna go get. You feel me,
dude? So, you know, when we were young, it wasn't. You would have never convinced me I was doing nothing wrong. I was just experimenting. I was partying. You know, I'm only doing it Friday and Saturday, right? The difference is what I can look back on now and go and realize was, what was I doing those other 5 days other than looking forward to getting to do it? Shit, man. For years, if you would have tried to tell me I had a problem, you you would have found out you had a problem.
Yeah, you started a problem.
That's your problem right there. The fact that you think I got a problem, motherfucker. You know, now we got a fucking problem.
Who the fuck you talking to?
Yeah, like, stop it. So it just, you know, I wasn't one of those, I wasn't one of those open-minded people that you know, was listening to you.
Yeah.
First off, I'm smarter than you. Second off, I'm not interested in what you have to say if it's negative about me, but we can talk about it elsewhere.
Yeah.
You know, if you'd like.
Yeah.
It was never. I viewed my like success as a human based on my bills being paid, right? Showing up to work in the morning, you know, and that made me a functioning human. That made me a good person.
Yeah.
That made me responsible.
Yeah.
Outside of that, outside of those two, you know, those two small variables or those two small responsibilities, you know, it was just a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
It was just a wrecking ball after that.
Yeah. It usually be like that too. Like what they call it, what they say, functioning addict.
Functioning, right.
Like,
yeah.
after looking at it, it's like there's no such thing.
No,
because it's only a matter of time before the disease takes over. You know, and we see it all the time. I've seen it because, you know, for me, it wasn't always a time where, because I used to sell drugs too. I sold a lot of drugs.
Sure.
I was in the street for real.
I was a horrible drug dealer.
Yeah, I was decent.
I was the fucking worst.
Yeah. You gave away a lot of it. Took a lot.
Shit.
But I was decent, so, but, you know, and even in that time, I would see people, they would, you know, periodically hit me up. There'd be ones that now they hit me up. Now they would hit me up every day. Like, man, you all right? I just be like, you cool? Like, you straight?
Yeah.
You're losing your home, now I'm driving your car, and I got the keys to your house, like, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So, like, when was the point where you thought, where you noticed that things started getting real hectic for you in that life?
So that realization didn't hit for almost 3 decades. I smoked it to the filter. I did not have any perceived negative things happen to me. I have an opinion on why those things never happened to me. Now I have a much better understanding of what was at play, but you know, I never went to jail. Well, I went to jail. I had to spend a night for a DUI, which of course I beat.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you know, we'll leave those details. Yeah. We'll leave those details out. But you know, I beat the DUI. But I never, you know, I never went to jail. Yeah. I never went to prison. I never had to resort to committing violence to support or committing crimes to support my habit. The means to support my lifestyle meant I got to go to work. Yeah. You know, and it's funny now. Like, I remember always like being the last guy up at the party, and every, you know, and my boys would be like, "You got to work tomorrow, right?" No, I got to work today. It's 4 a.m. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you go to bed, I'm gonna catch a shower, and they, you know, it was always like this machine, this machine that never needed sleep. You know, you could sleep when you're dead mentality. Live fast, die young, leave a pretty corpse. But it was, again, that fueled this ulterior person that I invented, and I never gave the thought or the question, you know, who I was. Yeah. I was just worried about becoming and being this person that I thought everybody else liked, respected, or feared, or, you know, couldn't fuck with. You know, that was what I was interested in. Yeah. It wasn't about me. It was about this guy that I invented. And that, you know, I gave him my name. You know, I gave him I gave him all the things that I felt that I suffered from, all the inferiorities, all the weaknesses, all the insecurities. I kept here, and I gave this other person, and drugs gave me the ability to act like that other person. It might sound weird, but it truly is.
I understand.
Yeah, it truly is how my addiction affected my life.
Yeah, I totally
you know, but I did not have that that nuclear explosion, like, holy shit, something's got to change. I didn't have that till, you know, about 26 years later. I was 40, I was about 41 years old, and it was like, I had a failed marriage. I got married later in life, and she was younger than me, but a little older for a woman to have a baby. Okay. You know, so my last name ends with me, so it was a big deal to, you know, have a son, you know, or have a child, have a healthy child, but be a father meant something to me. And it was kind of like all of a sudden I'm seeing that door close, and my ex-wife and I had lost a baby, and it was like, sorry to hear that, yeah, it was tough, but it was like, damn, let's get back in the sack, let's try this over, like, you know, time's ticking, and that never happened. And it was 2018. I suffered a weightlifting accident. You know, there was a drug for everything. So I was a very successful wrestling coach in the area. I was, you know what, Vince, I was a way better coach than I was a competitor. And and this was even an active addiction. I was and I've never
let's talk about that a little bit before we go there. Like, you said you used to be a coach. That's very interesting to me, because like you said, even in your active addiction, like, how did that go? Like, how did you function through that?
I've never been open about this.
Yes.
Not certainly in a public forum. But I was in active addiction. I was a wrestling coach, and a successful one. Being a role model and being a positive influence in someone else's life was not affected by my active addiction. Yeah. It was always like, I'm only hurting myself. Yeah. Right? So my demons, my darkness is my darkness, but I got some light too. Yeah. And I'm going to share that. Not with me. Yeah. But with everybody that I see fit. Yeah. And man, I was some of my best friends were also wrestlers, you know, and successful ones, and we were coaching wrestling together, and it was awesome. Yeah. I mean, it was awesome. But you know, there were drugs that I relied on to help me keep younger as well and stronger. Yeah. So, you know, cocaine fit the lifestyle in the evenings, and you know, cocaine and alcohol go hand in hand in the evenings. And you know, I also had to figure out a way to fit in the gym and to be strong, and to because I had to be this, you know, I had to physically be the coach that I painted, right? Yeah. That I pictured. I couldn't just be the out of shape coach, right? So, you know, I'm using steroids, I'm lifting weights regularly, I'm not sleeping, I'm partying every night, and I'm working and then coaching wrestling afterwards, and it a lot. It enough is never enough.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I had a lot of success. I started really Toledo's first and only at the time all-female competitive wrestling club out of it was incredible. I had some extremely successful females compete at the top of the country, winning national championships, placing at national championships. I had the wonderful opportunity to coach a lot of the best wrestlers in the area for some years. And again, they were competing the 8 months outside of the typical high school wrestling season. So we were traveling the country and wrestling in international style competition. It was absolutely awesome.
Man, that's dope.
Until I got to my hotel room. You know,
it usually go like that.
And then it was like, you know, it was time to do me.
Yeah.
You know, and
but you were still able to maintain though.
Yeah.
That the coaching career.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of I gotta take my hat off to you.
Man.
You know, that even in your active addiction, you know, you still was able to sustain and obtain, like, to help other kids and the youth gain accolades too. That's like,
you know,
can't take that from you. This is my opinion.
No, thank you. I appreciate that.
That goes out to you.
It wasn't it wasn't easy. You know, then some of them slaps in the face in the shower in the morning, like, okay, you know, we had to put our masks on, right? My mask game was real strong. But in 2018, I suffered a weightlifting accident, and I ruptured my pectoral major, and that was the beginning of a totally different avenue that my addiction was going to take me down. That's when the lights started coming on, like, hey, you've got a problem, right? So I'm you know, 40, 38, 39 years old, and they nearly had to amputate my arm. It was a real weird injury. I ruptured my pectoral major, and I got this thing called compartment syndrome in my arm, and it was a big blood clot. So it was like starving the rest of my arm for blood, and I knew
I seen that on your page, like it was a whole.
Yeah, they got pictures from the surgery. So this
was huge. The whole back, that whole arm right there. Yeah.
The whole they actually took pictures in surgery and sent them to me because I'm the only person in the American Medicine Journal to get this thing called compartment syndrome as a result of abdomen trauma. So I was case number 1 in the American Medicine Journal. Couldn't be a winning lottery ticket. Had to be a near amputation. But that's why I have those pictures. Yeah. And so man, this is a story in itself. I'm laid up with this injury. The surgery to fix it was scheduled for a week later, and I'm laid up and at home. And I got a bottle of painkillers, and coincidentally, just like alcohol, they go good with cocaine too. So I start loading up. I know I'm on the lam. I don't, you know, and it was like, you know, time to feel better. Yeah. So my wife at the time, her grandmother, who really raised her, is ending the nearing the end of her life, and she goes to the hospital the night after I had this injury. So I'm up all night, slapped, fucked up. Yeah. And we get this call in the morning. Grandma's in the hospital. It doesn't look good. So, you know, here we go. Throw some clothes on, get a sponge. I couldn't shower or nothing. It was, well, I could shower. I hadn't had the surgery yet, but it was just like I'm a mess. Yeah. And we go to the hospital, and they're talking about taking your grandmother to hospice and such things, and it was like, okay. And I was like 36 hours after the injury, I had enough painkillers to kill a large horse, you know. I was like, something ain't right. You know, I'm really in tune with Dane. I was like, something ain't right.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
I'm popping these things like, you know, Skittles. I'm like, this there's something wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm bothering my wife while she's trying to comfort her. I'm like, you know, something's wrong. She's like, no shit, don't bother me, call the surgeon. So I call the doc, and I'm like, doc, and he starts asking me these questions, and I answered yes to them, and he's like, you gotta go. You gotta go to my office right now. He's out of town. He's like, you gotta see my partner. So I go over to UTMC, and that's when they found out that I had this blood clot causing, you know, the death of my arm. And I could feel that.
Yeah.
I'm all fucked up. I stopped, of course, on the way from the hospital to the to UTMC to see the surgeon, because he's like, this is imperative, you gotta go. So I stop at the bar first to have a couple I had to have a couple beers first to prep myself.
Whole arm,
you know, yeah. So it's like, you know, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But I go in, and they mark me up. They're like, this other doctor come in, and he said, listen, I'm gonna save your arm. And shit faced from the night before, totally, and you know, half cracked after the beers I just pounded coming in. I'm like, don't wake me up without an arm, doc.
Yeah.
None of us want that in their life.
Please.
But he did. He saved my arm. But now I have this this unlimited prescription for painkillers, and it was like a match again. That something new, right? This match made in heaven.
Yeah.
And it was about 6 months. I graduated physical rehab like a month and a half, 2 months early, you know, and half the time they thought it was going to take, and did everything I was supposed to. I was motivated to get back into wrestling, but I had this new love,
yeah,
you know, and that took us right to about 2019 and closer to 2020, and there was no such thing as Percocets anymore. Like they really cracked down.
Yeah, they
on
cracked
it.
down. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was getting scripts filled out.
So when they told me I couldn't have none anymore, it was like,
Off the street.
I know who to call, and I found exactly what I was looking for, except it wasn't, you know. And that's when I met fentanyl.
Yeah.
And after that, my wife and I ended up going our separate ways, and now I'm this, you know, 40-year-old fentanyl addict, or this 40-year-old that's consuming fentanyl hourly, you know, and that's when the kind of the precursor to the nuclear blast, you know, happening in my life, where it was like, maybe I do have a problem, but my life started significantly declining after that. I'm not going to be a father, right? So all of the failures that I stacked on top of myself previous to that point were now capped with this big old cherry on top, that you failed as a man. You failed as a Ducat.
I know that feeling.
You failed ultimately. And I always called it depression, you know, and chronic depression according to the doctors, when in reality it was just an extreme case of this victim mindset, right?
Yeah.
And self-sabotage as an addict.
Yeah.
You know, it got dark. It got real dark. You know, I used to lie to myself and say, fentanyl is the best antidepressant I've ever found. Why didn't the doctors give me this a long time ago? You know, and in reality, it just made me isolating and self-loathing and extreme, like, self-torture.
Yeah.
It made it seem okay.
Yeah.
It made it okay. It made it comfortable for me to pull the blinds, turn my house into a dungeon, and just sit there in isolation and pain.
Yeah. I know that feeling, brother. Like I know that feeling.
Yeah.
100%. Where you get into that mode to where, because I was the same. You just pretty much explained it like my story in a sense, you know what I mean? Where it got to a point where failed marriage, can't be with my kids, music opportunities going down the drain. My barbering thing was going crazy. I started losing clients, and because of our addiction, the disease, and so I could definitely relate to that. Like just going into that dungeon and not isolation, not solitude, but real isolation, just sitting in sorrow and just the self-pity, what I'm saying? So I definitely understand what you talk about, man. And it's something for us addicts that in recovery, we when we recover, we look at those things like, man, why didn't I come? Why I should have been when I got some help.
How could I be sitting right here in this comfortable ass deep chair, make me look like a midget sitting in it? How can I be sitting here right now with another recovering addict who's chasing his dreams and doing things that probably seemed like one of those you ever get high just to think?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, man,
many times.
But I got this notepad, like I got this notepad where I get high just to increase my creative thinking. And I got all these like wrestling techniques. I sit there and I just jot down like, man, thank God for cocaine. Otherwise I wouldn't be this good wrestling coach.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy though, like how many dreams and aspirations, and I was always that person with a good idea. Let's do this.
Yeah.
But instead of ever doing it, I just got high.
That's it.
I just got fucked up.
Yeah.
And it was always just like these pipe dreams. And I see other people doing it. It was like, man, I had that idea. Fuck.
Yeah. No, for real.
But
Seriously.
now we're sitting here doing it. It's like, how does somebody go from the mentality of literal, this is my literal thinking. I can't pull the trigger. I didn't come up that way. My mother, I could never imagine like my mother and father coming over because they hadn't heard my voice in some days and finding that. Right? I could never pull the trigger.
Yeah.
But nobody will be surprised if I die of a drug overdose.
Man, hey, that's like more terrifying in itself, because I remember feeling like that. Like, man, if I just died in this hotel room, they'd expect that. And then I would think when I sober, I'm like, dang, if I was to die in that hotel room, like, what kind of shit would that be? Like,
and it wasn't my fault then. It was the drug.
The drug. Like,
I justified the most insane shit, but I was just always able to lie to myself.
Yeah.
It would have hurt me, even in my darkest days, it would have hurt me to lie to you. But lying to me, I always used to say, Vincent, man, I'm unoffendable. So say whatever the fuck you want.
No, for real.
But really, the person I am today can look back and go, that's how little you felt about yourself.
Amen.
Nothing could have ever been said to make you feel less about yourself than what you already do.
Yep.
And it's like, damn.
Yeah,
what
man.
the fuck?
I'm a firm believer in that too. Like, can't nobody hurt me. No. Can't nobody hurt me as much as I hurt myself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, you can't do nothing to me that I already did to myself.
Right.
And I would know, us as recovering addicts, man, like I genuinely feel like we are God's chosen people. Because if we can worship a substance that would kill us, and then when we finally find our recovery, we worship the Most High in that same matter, bro. It's like, it's different.
There is no greater evidence that God is real than a recovering addict.
A recovering addict. I said that to everybody. Would you say that again, brother?
There is no greater evidence on this planet, in this world. There is no greater evidence that God is real than a recovering addict.
And that is so true. Because, man, that is so true.
There's not a doctor, there's not a scientist, there's not a mathematician, there's not a human biologists, they don't exist that can prove physiologically that I'm alive, that I survived the amount of poison that I put in my body. And there were times that I was, this could be it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm going to do this much.
Yeah. No.
And I'm ready.
I'm ready.
You know, let's get it on. You know, I'll never forget the chaos in my mind. Like, you hear about somebody else, you know, on the same supply chain that didn't make it.
Yeah.
And ooh, we got some good ones. You know, like the spiritual bankruptcy, the absolute black hole of existence that exists inside when you get to that point. It's like, looking back, it's again, there's just no greater evidence, because that, as addicts, that's something that we all share, kind of that rock bottom, right? As recovering addicts, that's something we share, right? That rock bottom, that blast in the face, that nuclear explosion, like, what the fuck? You know, where you just, something's got to change.
Yeah, man.
And that's where, you know, for me, that's where God came back into my life. Yeah,
most definitely, bro. I definitely resonate with everything you're saying right now, brother.
Yeah,
because that's something that's how it hit me. Like, even when I was in my addiction, I was in that cloud too. Like, I just always see spirits. People thought I was tripping. Like, I ain't tripping. I just call my mom, like, Mom, something got a hold of me. I don't know what it is. Like, something, like, pray for me. She's like, boy, pray for yourself. And I started praying for myself. No, for real. I started praying for myself, like, God, but just take this, whatever it is that's on my back, that's got claws on my back, like, help me with this disease. Like, something ain't right.
You ever have something happen in your life that you blamed God for?
I questioned it, for sure. 100%.
Yeah, that's a big part of my story. You know, I mentioned my grandfathers earlier. I had a grandfather that he had a stroke, and I was about 12 years old, or I was about 10 years old when he had a stroke. And he was just this larger than life guy in my world, you know? And my grandmother was in a nursing home, and my grandfather had the stroke, and it took the left side of him. Yeah. But that boy, he still drove a Cadillac, you know, one-legged and one arm,
the right.
You know? And it's kind of a neat story. You know, he was a World War II veteran, and then he re-enlisted and went to Korea. He was the original projectionist in Toledo. So, you know, like, I was watching movies, like, behind that black square, you know, he was the projectionist, you know, like, it was just this, like, larger than life dude.
That's pretty cool, though, just to be back there while the movie.
He opened doors with a napkin, you know what I mean? Like, he was just cool, and that was cool, you know what I mean? Like, not like a, you know, a weird thing. He was just cool and smart. And yeah, really to me a genius. But I spent 2 years every single day, like I can compare, like, he was a drug, like I was obsessed with this guy, with my grandfather, and you know, 7 days a week. You know, my friends always came over to the house, and they knew there were going to be a 4-hour game session with Grandpa before we did our thing on the weekends. And you know, Monday through Thursday, it was get his seat ready on the couch with the pillows and all. You know, get the table out, whatever game I wanted to play that night. And then it wasn't just the games; it was the conversation. It was just the education I was getting about, you know, being with my grandpa. You know, and he was truly, like, this mythical figure in my life. I always had a tendency again to put people on pedestals that were not at all realistic, right?
Yeah,
but idolizing them.
Mm-hmm.
And remember when the original Nintendo came out?
Most definitely.
Bobby did not have one. Okay. Bobby was not going to get one until Genesis came out. Then we could get a Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
So a buddy of mine was coming over, and he had a Nintendo, and he brought it over. And man, we're down in the basement playing that Nintendo, and Grandpa come over, and the seat wasn't ready for him. The games weren't ready for him. You know, I never even went up to give him a hug. You know, and I remember him going ahead and leaving that night much earlier than he would have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I didn't even go up and give him a hug goodbye or nothing. And I remember hearing him tell my mother, I remember this as a 12-year-old kid, you know, let him be a boy. He's okay. You know, my mom was like, Bobby, come up here. You know, I'll be up in a minute. And that night, my grandfather died of a heart attack.
Oh, man.
And I was this 12-year-old kid, totally fucking convinced that I killed my grandfather. So fuck God.
Yeah.
You know, Grandpa died because of me, and you put that on me.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, Vince, like I was raised in a church by my other grandparents.
Yeah.
You know, like I had a very clear vision about who God was, you know, and you know, Sunday school, you know, all of that. So I had this clear vision of who God was.
Yeah.
Fuck him. And that was a huge turning point that I can look back on now and go, holy shit, there wasn't a good decision made after that. You know, what I know about myself today, I can put myself in that little boy's body and realize that was the day that I assumed all control over my life. And every bad decision that came with that as a result. Yeah. And it wasn't until I was a 44-year-old man, crippled by the disease of addiction, that I literally, I spent it all, and in credit, I had no more means. There wasn't enough fentanyl to kill me, but there wasn't enough money to support the amount of fentanyl I needed as a result, you know, of the lifestyle I had created over 4 years on these pills. And I just, who the hell you know arranges an intervention for themselves?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh man, overachiever.
Yeah.
So that's exactly.
I wonder how that went.
Yeah.
Like, how did that go?
You know, it was so crazy. I had this girlfriend at the time, like this woman I had known for 20 years, and it was just crazy. And it all kind of worked out perfect again, which I didn't realize then, but I knew God was you know, he was actually stacking the deck in my favor.
He was working the string.
But I had arranged this intervention at work with the guys I've worked with forever, and my boss, who's like a second father to me, and the girl, I said, I had them all in the warehouse at work, and I was just like, I'm bawling, and I'm like, I need to tell you guys something. And it was so bizarre, Vince. My boss was like, stop, we know. He's like, what do we do now?
Yeah.
That week, up until that point, you know, I knew the end was near. You know, I knew because I could do the math, right? Yeah. And the math wasn't math. I had no more, you know, I pulled some strings, and I was able to finagle a last little batch, and it was down to the minute, man. I arranged this intervention, and they said, what now? And I had looked at these treatment centers the week building up to that. I was like, if I don't die this week, you know, I'm gonna have to go somewhere. I can't just show up at work dope sick.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know,
You won't
it's
be
not,
able- yeah.
not an option.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
So I had looked at these treatment centers and was on the, they said call them. And I called them, and it was important for me to get out of town.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to. Toledo, we're actually very blessed here in Toledo. There is a ton of recovery here available,
Yeah.
and a ton of help here for people in the area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It's a lot, and it's growing.
And there's people coming in from out of town to get help, you know. But for me, this time, the last time, I needed to get away.
Yeah.
Like, it's too easy for me to Bobby Toledo.
Yeah.
You know, there ain't nowhere in Toledo I can't walk.
Yeah.
So I needed to get out, and I ended up at this little place in Van Wert, Ohio. This amazing treatment center,
Mm-hmm.
and it was that's where I out of sheer desperation, that's where I finally reconnected with God. And it was an unbelievable experience. Let me tell you, it was not something I was, when I say out of desperation, I beat the doors down in this place trying to find a doctor. Give me the fucking pill that makes this all possible.
Yeah, yeah.
I told everybody, you wouldn't like me without drugs.
Yeah.
I'm this miserable prick, you know, violently sick in my own mind, depressed, fuck everything, fuck you, fuck it. And they were like, this is part of it. And I'm like, fuck you.
This can't be
This ain't part of it, mother. The rest of my life can't be like this. I'm not, you know. And this lady gave me this. I'm laying out in the grass. It's cold as shit. Everybody else is in class. You know, this is after detox. I'm supposed to be in this residential, you know, side of things, which means go to class every day.
Yep.
And you know, detox was rough as shit. Two trips to two stints in the hospital because my body was just going completely crazy.
Withdrawals.
They had to you know, sedate me to try to control my heart rhythm, and I was risk a stroke or heart attack, just all kinds of craziness. So the weight of the world though come crashing down on me after I wasn't sick anymore. It was like I was 10 times as sick, reflecting on that instant notion of the last 26 years of my life. And it was so fucking heavy, Vince. That was the most painful experience in the treatment phase of you know, in my early recovery.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm laying for 3 days. They're like, this dude's a lost cause.
Because that is
let him go do his thing, which was leave me alone. I'm gonna chain smoke cigarettes and I'm gonna bawl my fucking eyes out for 3 days.
That's the hardest part, man. When we had to,
that
was the hardest part for me too.
Dude.
When I had to really think and reflect and like, damn.
And you know what? God was already working. The reason we're alive,
yes, sir,
right, and not dead by our own hand, by our own choices, is evidence enough, you know, for me that God is active and real in my life. But
100%.
It's so crazy. This they're like, let him be, let him be. For 3 days, I'm bawling my eyes out in the cold, smoking cigarettes, and leave me the fuck alone. And this woman that worked there walks up to me. She's a recovering addict as well, and she's like, Bobby, and I said, yeah, you know, like, do you have the pill that's gonna make me feel better? Because if not, it's probably best to leave me the fuck alone. She's like, can I give you something? And I'm like, yeah. She handed me this little piece of paper, and she's like, do with it what you want, but I'd give it a try. And she walked away. And what was on that, specifically on that piece of paper isn't important, But what was on that piece of paper was, and it was a verse. It was a Bible verse that she wrote down. I'm not capable of remembering exactly what that Bible verse was.
But it hit you.
But what it did was it opened my mind to the idea that I've burnt down every fucking door, right? Every doctor, every medicine, every...
It's all about the options.
What else?
Yeah, it's what else?
The only thing I haven't tried is accepting Jesus and, accepting God into my life.
Amen.
And there ain't no fucking way I'm going to continue on like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm more likely to off myself now as a result of not having the drug. Like, this shit's for real. Like,
for real.
Devastating. So I had it all planned out. It's like sunset, like 8 o'clock. And I had it all planned out, had the pillow on the floor, and man, it was just the most amazing, unbelievable, surreal experience. I'm sitting outside on the little porch of the cabin that I'm in, and I'm chain smoking cigarettes, and I'm just watching, just like prepping myself for it not to work.
Yeah.
Right? Like, now I'm gonna be able to tell everybody that God ain't real or that God hates me and all this shit. And I'm Vincent, I'm prepping to beg. Like, either please help me, please save me, please make this possible, or please send the doctor that has the pill to make this possible to Van Wert, Ohio.
Yeah.
And 8 o'clock, sun goes down. I get down on my hands and knees, man, and I'm prepping to beg like I've never begged. Who the fuck begs, right? I'm about to beg, and he didn't even let me beg, man. I just closed my eyes, and what happened after that is not explainable. But at that moment, I couldn't tell you how I went to bed. I couldn't tell you how I fell asleep. I don't remember opening my eyes. And, man, I got up that morning, got to class, and I patted this facilitator on the back. I said, man, you ready for this? Yeah. He's like, looking at me like, wait a second, who are you? This motherfucker, like, you're supposed to be dead outside.
Hey, man, y'all see Ducat, man, he tripping.
Yeah, he said, ready for what? I said, for the healing to begin.
Hey, man.
Let's do this shit.
Hey, man.
And I haven't, when I tell you I haven't slowed down, I have not slowed down. I hit the ground running that day. And everything I do today, I know is only possible through God, God's grace and mercy. Today I'm fueled by the desire to do good. Yeah. Right? God intended me to be this wonderful person, the best version of Bobby I could be. That's His will. And today, 45 years old, almost 46. Yeah. We're truly living that life. That's what motivates me today, and it's nothing short of a miracle.
Man, that's crazy. It's wild because we kind of share the same similarity though in our stories and our walk though, man. Like for real, even with our spiritual awakening, because it was the same thing. Once I hit the ground, bro, it was like once I had that spiritual awakening, man. And it's true though, like. Man, the spirit, God is real. Like we say, like you said, man, a recovering addict is all the evidence you need to see that God is real. Because, man, like just where we come from and how things just had us held down and many others like us, man. Like, so if you're really going through like addiction or anything that's really hindering you from growth of just growing inside, man, I truly advise some people. It may be hard for some, like turn your life over to the Most High, surrender your will, and trust me, man, you'll be just like us, saying the same story. like hitting the ground running. It ain't been the same since. For my brother right here, Bobby D, man, he's a great guy, man. Like he's just an amazing fellow, man. I can't even put the words into play, man. Like when I see him, I see God working through him. You know, that's 100%.
It's the best compliment you could ever give.
For real. When I see God working through you, how you speak, how you carry yourself, just how you walk. When you come in, the room light up. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing but love, man. It ain't no. I don't see no bad venom in your blood, because you know the rooms we walk into, we got what my dude said, we got crackheads that don't use crack.
Yeah. You know,
and it's like, because it's in the recovery, man, it's true though, like we have to change everything.
Everything.
Like literally the way we think, how we talk, and how we perceive, how our perspective on people, everything has to change.
You know how we can make a mountain out of a molehill?
Yeah.
You know, like, what's everything?
Yeah.
Everything is the most small thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because you hit the nail on the head. You said it. What I have to change is my perception.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I can change my perception,
mm-hmm.
I change everything.
Yeah.
But I want to make a mountain out of a molehill, right? I got to make a mountain out of a molehill. No, all I have to do is the opposite of what I was used to, right?
Most definitely.
My motives today are, you know, I'm motivated by goodwill.
Yeah.
For the first time in my life, I'm not motivated by self-obsession, right? I'm motivated by selflessness. I'm motivated to do good, to help others. Yeah. Right?
Yes.
Today, one thing that's changed my life, and you know, I know it sounds kind of cliche, but God speaks to us through other people.
Most definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
God speaks to us through other people. And in recovery, in the program we share, we have a lot of new people in our life that are positive influences in our life.
Yeah. And
we come to understand that those people, when one addict is helping another, right, that God is intervening, right? Yeah. That God is speaking, you know, a positive message through them. Yeah. And one of the things that I have literally based my life around was that life doesn't happen to me today. It happens for me, you know?
Amen.
Now, that has changed my perception. Mm-hmm. Now, everything has changed as a result of the way I take it in, and I react as a result.
My brother.
Right? So that little saying, literally changed my life. And somebody had the balls to say that to me, that cares about me enough, when I'm ranting and raving, right, about life and about how, you know, poor me and fuck everybody, right? Yeah. Had the balls to say, man, you're not a victim anymore. Mm-hmm. If you're a victim that's not using, you're just an addict who hasn't relapsed yet. You know, you're not working on your recovery. You already backsliding back. You're gonna be, you know, sure. you're gonna be relapsed. Yeah. I can say guarantee. You know what I mean?
100%.
You know, because if I view the world the same as I viewed the world as an addict who needed drugs as the solution, right, to my problems, and I'm not using drugs, it's only a matter of time before drugs, right? Yeah. So when everything changes, for me, everything changes when I simply change my perception. There's that coin has two sides to it, you know, and I can always see the shit side. Yeah. Right? Yeah. But I have to find the lesson. Mm-hmm. You ever hear somebody say, God's testing me? Yeah. I don't believe that. I don't believe God tests us. I believe God teaches us.
Most definitely.
Right? Yeah. To say God tests me is to say God is gambling with me. Yeah. Right? God is all loving. God is all caring.
Yeah,
God doesn't test me today.
Yeah.
However, there is a test. There is a lesson to learn, right?
The test is the teaching moment.
But again, that's just the difference,
yeah.
right? Because if I believe God is testing me, now I'm questioning His motives, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
He's not gambling with my life today.
No.
You know, he has blessed me with this opportunity to do it the way He would, the way He intended me to do it. And it's like he's not testing me, He's teaching me. So every opportunity is everything that, you know what I have? You know what I have? I have all the reasons that I used to get fucked up over.
Yeah.
All those reasons still exist. Vince, am I lying?
No, you are not lying.
Like,
you are not lying. Like, 100%.
Shit, it didn't have to be a birthday. It could have been a fucking stubbed toe in the middle of the night because I had to piss.
Yeah, I lost my keys in the counter somewhere.
If not for bad luck, I have none at all. Shit. It could only happen to me. It could only happen to me. So drugs, again, like drugs were the solution.
Yeah.
I need to escape this black cloud that's over my life.
Yeah.
Right? If I choose to take in life with that same mentality, all those reasons are still there today.
Yeah.
You know, boss, my boss is being a dick. I work too much. I don't get paid enough. Oh, my car's filthy. Yeah. I have to wash it. like my dog pissed on the floor.
That's so true what you just said, though. Like, all the reasons are still there.
All the reasons are still there.
We just handle them totally different.
Yeah.
It's more we just, I got this. Don't worry about it.
How many people, including myself, got out of treatment or was going to get out of treatment and said, man, I got to get my life back.
Yeah, a lot of people.
That life is the one waiting for you. That's going to drag you right back down. It's the insanity of self-deception.
I like that too, though, man. I like that.
It's like, no. What I've learned is that there was this whole other way to live waiting for me. I had to find a path to teach it to me, to show it to me.
Yeah.
And that's again, where God works through people. I had to surround myself with people that are successful in recovery, that are addicts living their best life in recovery.
Yeah.
I had to find people like you, something that I saw. Just because I'm cleaner longer than you doesn't mean I don't see something that I want.
Yeah.
Right? Like that energy, that light. Like, we're attracted to people that have something we perceive we want. Now the difference today is it's an energy, it's a feeling, it's a spirit, right? It's not what's in your pocket.
Yeah, for real.
You got what I want, motherfucker.
It's that vibe.
It's
It's like Al said, man. It's like the fly when the bug attracted to the light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you turn that light on at nighttime, all the mosquitoes attract to the light.
And
that's how good people attract good people.
And now we're surrounded with good people who are living that same selfless, motivated life through goodwill, through God, and at every turn, I'm getting smarter in life, stronger in life, because I'm experiencing all of those reasons that I used to run away from, right? All of those reasons to use are now motivating me in my recovery.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man. But it's such a miracle to me that it could only be possible through God.
Amen.
There's no, as amazing as people are, there's really no such thing as a miracle unless you attempt to die.
Yeah.
Right? And live.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
like there's no die.
Yeah.
You know,
Most
like
definitely like.
so
You attempt to die.
yeah.
Like,
So
God, like, no, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that today.
Yeah, God is incredible.
Yeah, that's dope. Hold on. It's good though. It's fire. It's fire. That's fire, bro. So you been that said, man. Like, got a question for you. Like,
Shoot it.
cause we both in recovery. I love recovery, man. Like, recovery has given me, it's revealed some gifts that I didn't know I had until I had to use them. So, like, what gift do you think recovery has given you?
This is a perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
You know, doing something that I said I'd love to do.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just some pie in the sky, drug fueled thought or ambition.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually doing it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This was such an honor, but to be able to do this as part of your vision and something and an aspiration that you have, to be part of it is awesome. But this is just an example. Like, my career is still my career.
Yeah.
Those guys have stuck with me and supported me.
Yeah.
And in turn, I'm as successful as I can be. In that path. I'm actually starting in all my free time.
Yeah.
I have started a side venture. We are a dear friend of mine that I've had nearly my whole life. Him and I are investing in a new business.
Yeah.
In a sober living business.
That's fire, man.
Yeah.
That's fire. So see, as us recovering addicts, when we recover, we also reach out to help people, try to lend a hand out to people that's out there sick and suffering. So, man, just to hear that, brother, it's amazing.
It's truly remarkable. The amount of work that is going into this, again, is one of those exact reasons why I would convince myself not to do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Man, I'm just gonna get fucked up instead. They all bullshitting with all these rules and
Too
all
many
this
rules.
stuff and all these roadblocks. Oh, fuck. So yeah, I don't got time for that shit. So this is something. Being involved in somebody else's recovery means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Look at how we spend our Thursday nights.
Yeah.
Carrying a message of recovery to addicts very early on in their recovery journey.
Yeah.
And that's something that we get to share. That's something that means the world to me.
Yeah, do, man.
I love that and sharing that with you.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, I'm on a mission. I'm all in on this mission to not just battle the disease of addiction, right? But to lend a helping hand to somebody willing enough to grab it.
Yeah.
That's
real.
The one thing that I think we share, something I can say that I think we think alike. Think alike on is, not everybody. There's a difference between saying you want it and being willing to get it. Right? Recovery is so much different than stopping using drugs, right? Like,
yes, 100%.
Like, the hard part is finding that new way to live. The easy part was getting off the drugs.
Stopping, getting off of it.
That took days, right? Now we have the rest of our lives dealing with all those reasons, right?
And the same problems.
So if nothing changes, nothing changes.
Definitely,
So we have found that path, right? We have that in common. There's a path to recovery. Right? That path, I'm under no illusion. That path is not me. Right? My path, I don't walk my path alone.
No.
No one person including myself,
I don't think nobody
is responsible for my success or my recovery.
Yeah.
Right? That's God.
Yeah.
Right? Even when I feel like I'm alone, I have to remind myself that I have this opportunity, right? Because of God's grace, because of God's mercy, right?
Amen.
So if I achieve it, it was only through His grace and mercy.
Yes,
and then,
Amen.
Right, Him never leaving me, His will, which inspired me, which, you know, which allowed me the success that I'm having. So it's never one of those thoughts like, you know, I'm going to drag you with me so you can get this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, that's not helping someone, right? Helping someone is living the life, right? Through God's will, and that attraction,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That attraction bringing somebody along.
Because it is an attraction though, like in recovery,
Bro,
it's definitely an attraction. Like
think about how many people. Think about how sick this disease is making people.
Yeah.
You know, think about how many people we see in recovery versus how many people are out there battling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Out there barely hanging on.
Barely.
I mean, the numbers are so staggered, are so fucking worlds apart versus the people out there suffering versus the people that have found that new way to live. Think about that.
Yeah, we see them at the corner store.
You know,
I see them at the corner stores. Like I'm just
I can look out my house and I could, you know what I mean, like
go to the speed.
I know what's going on over there.
Like
you know,
it's unbelievable.
And it doesn't. You know, the thing is, we can't recover for anybody.
Yeah. Right?
We can't recover for somebody else. So it truly is that light, right? Like that flicker that we all might have, no matter how low it is. If we're breathing, we got a flicker, right?
Yep.
So we fan that, you know, we fan that flame and hope to ignite something because they you know, this disease is so cunning. This disease is so powerful. It'll convince you that you don't have it, right? It'll convince you not to take the medicine. You know,
just stay sick.
If I got a cough, I'm drinking cough medicine immediately.
Yeah.
But this disease, which is fatal, right, will convince you, nah, man, you don't want no medicine.
Yeah.
And the medicine, it's remarkable. You know, the medicine is just another recovering addict.
Another recovering addict, man.
You know, they say that I heard this, that the exact opposite of addiction is connection. And I think it was on another podcast.
No, that's fire though. That's fire.
But it totally makes sense.
It makes all the sense in the
world.
world.
We put in a lot of work into the education part of our disease, and that plays a huge role in the amount of work that we do on ourselves, right? Is about educating us about this disease of addiction, but more so educating us about the recovery process, right? You know, our education lies in the focus of recovery.
Yeah.
We got a PhD in experience, right?
For sure.
We got a PhD in how fucked up shit can be in the midst, in the grip.
100%.
So I don't need any more education about how I can kick myself in the nuts. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I need an education in recovery, and that's where you and I share our paths came together, you know, and share that it's far more beneficial to connect, right?
Yeah.
And follow, you know, follow that person that fanned your flame. Follow that person that you see the light with, because that's the person that God put in your life. That's the person that believes in you too. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And that's the kind of the path, and that's exactly what happened to me. Yeah. You know, I'm no expert, man. I am no
I don't think nobody's an expert.
Right.
But what you're saying, it makes sense though.
You know, I seen people, right, for that had 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, 40 years, you know, of recovery. And I was attracted to that.
Yep.
You know,
yeah.
I wasn't out there looking for somebody that, you know, that had you know, that had a book about it. I was looking for somebody that could write the book about it.
That part,
you
right
know,
there.
like
that actually
and
lived
that's what, you know, those are the people that I surrounded myself with. I'll never forget, they were telling me way back when I was in treatment, they were like, you need to build a community of recovering addicts.
But the community already here.
I was like, I'm 44 fucking years old.
Yeah.
I ain't making no new friends.
Yeah.
You know, like, I ain't out to make new friends.
Yeah.
I got friends.
Yeah.
But the community, there are so many outlets. Right here in Toledo, there are so many fellowships that exist.
Yeah.
You know,
and they're everywhere.
Where
every side of town, suburbs, inburbs,
you know,
the hood, downtown.
and just like the disease doesn't discriminate, right? Recovery doesn't either.
At all.
You know,
They don't.
the disease will take you down if you rich, white, black, Chinese, from every walk of life.
Who you are, what you got,
whatever.
How much money you got, rich or poor, middle class, I don't care. The disease of addiction doesn't care who or what.
And neither does God.
And God don't either.
So when it comes to recovery, right? You're gonna be Think about what our Friendsgiving table would look like, Vince.
Yeah.
It would look crazy as shit. But you know what? God will be there. And it would be you know what I mean? It's amazing. Think about the people that you never would have gave maybe the time of day to.
Yeah.
Right? Because they didn't have some material that you wanted.
Yeah.
Right? So you know, fuck them. If you didn't grow up with them,
yeah,
I'm out.
It was a time where I thought like that.
You know, now it's like my life is full of people that for whatever reason I would have disregarded as somebody that didn't have what I wanted.
No, that's
right?
true. That's true.
And
yeah, because you can learn from everybody too.
I can't get enough.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
Like man. I go out of town, you know what I mean, and involve myself with other recovering addicts.
Yeah.
You know, what comes out of our mouths, man, is absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, man. It really is, though.
You know, coming from the guy that couldn't learn shit because he already knew everything.
He knew everything.
Right?
Can't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
I'm David Ruffin.
They said that, you know, they say that when you're a kid, it's easy for you to learn a new language.
Yeah.
Right? I am learning a whole new language.
No, for real.
You know, like I'm a kid and it's coming with bumps, but it's coming so naturally, so easy because that's all I want.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And there's nothing there's nothing I'm not willing to do to, you know, pursue my recovery.
And you're doing a damn good job doing it too. So like, you know, like I was saying, like you inspire me in so many ways, brother. Like I can't even, you know, words can't explain. Like sometimes like I said, when I watch you and I be looking, I'm like, yeah, I know God put him around me for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, it's a teaching moment, or maybe we teaching each other something, but I know it's a reason why God put you around me, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, and like we was talking about earlier, how God works through people. The Most High works through people. And it's up to us to pay attention to the signs and the message in the person. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel you, man, and I understand. Like when you said that the opposite of addiction is connection.
Yeah.
You know, and that makes so much sense because when we go into the rooms, the connection and the fellowship, you can really feel like, damn, this where
it's awesome.
Yeah.
I belong.
Yeah, like
right?
word,
like I belong.
I belong here. Like okay, I'm with a lot of people that were just like me.
Yep.
And then when we hear those numbers, we hear those numbers 40, 30, 20, and they still popping up, and they actually doing the work, and It's like y'all still here.
You're still here.
Come on, man. Like that's all the
works.
evidence I need. Like yeah, I'm following. I'm looking at him.
It works.
You know, and you working on yourself. Man, it's amazing to see that. Like for real, it's amazing to see that. So my next question for you, man, is like, what role does spirituality play in helping you maintain your recovery today?
If there was a number value I'd have to put to it, like if there were 9 other things that were necessary in my recovery, spirituality would be number 1.
Yeah.
You know, fortunately, I understand that there is only one, and that is a solution that's spiritual in nature. The only thing for me, Vince, that I could still be empty, right? And looking for something other than drugs. I could be off drugs, right? I could be clean or sober, or, you know, abstinent, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I could be drug free.
Yeah.
And still a complete miserable piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm saying that about myself. Right? I could still be that person that hates the guy in the mirror. Right? So when you take the drugs away, that's what's left. Right? Because that's why I was, you know what I mean? That's why I was using drugs. That's what, you know, drugs were never the problem. Right? Yeah. They were the solution to my problem.
The drugs only 10%.
And the problem was that emptiness that I was trying to fill, that being special but not in a good way.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Being that person that feels totally out of place in a room full of people, that person that feels alone and isolated, that has to become somebody else, right?
Yeah.
In that crowded room. I never could fill it enough.
Yeah.
Right? There was that, again, I think I called it a black hole, or that's what it was, just this void. So so how can I not be that person anymore?
Yeah.
So that drugs never sound like the solution again.
Yeah.
That can only, in for me, that can only be God. That can only be a higher power, a power greater than the disease, right? A power greater than the void, the emptiness. I had to fill it with something. And if you fill that if I fill that for good, right? With goodwill, with positive motives, with selfless acts, with, you know, eventually, and faith, right? And faith that it is the solution. Man, could you imagine where you were almost a year ago, sitting there thinking about, man, if I could just get off drugs, I'm gonna do this. How far you would have sold yourself short, right? Like, God has so many things in play for us, and in a plan for us, if we just get out of the fucking way. Right? Just get out of the way.
I just said something like that too, though, man. You can't expect God to keep the drive for you. Keep behind the steering wheel.
It's like,
you know, you can't expect him to take over if you keep behind the wheel.
Yeah.
Get in the passenger seat, let it ride, man.
For me, spirituality is the only solution, right? Yeah. Or is at the very core, right, of the solution.
Yeah.
You know.
Because renewing of the mind. It's in scripture, man. Renewing of the mind.
Think about how fragile. Again, I'm talking about the miraculousness of an addict that doesn't use.
Yeah.
Right? Think about how fragile it is, recovery. Just one. Right? Just one bad decision. Right? Just one line of cocaine, just one shot of tequila.
Back onto the race. It wasted a lot of time.
You know?
Yeah.
Think about how fragile recovery is. It's an absolute miracle.
Yeah.
Right?
It really is, though.
So again, I'm under no confusion. There's zero confusion about the fragility, how fragile this gift, right, that's been given to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrap that motherfucker with bubble wrap, you know. You know,
right,
and I carry that sumbitch because there is no way I'm going back. You ever heard somebody talk about the good times, right, before it got bad?
Yeah, I heard that. Matter of fact, I heard somebody talking like that one day. I had to walk away. I said, "You sound crazy."
You know, my life was not a life of torment.
Yeah.
You know, I made it that way, and it progressively got worse.
Yeah.
Right? But if I focus on those times we were talking about earlier, like the party,
yeah,
right, the fun, when being a kid was being a, you know what I mean, like being a young man was being a young man.
Yeah, it's over with.
You know, I'm putting the wrong pieces into the wrong puzzle, right? I'm doing the wrong puzzle, right?
Yep.
I don't look back at my experience as good or bad, but I look at my experience in the end. If I want to give, you know, 26 years of active addiction, if I want to put a hat on it,
yeah,
I only put a hat on that last day. Right? Mm-hmm. That's what I have to remember about active addiction.
Yeah.
Because if I go down that rabbit hole, right,
yeah,
of the good times, right, I'm not giving the disease its proper due in how progressively disgusting and torturous it is. I only look back at that one day. I heard somebody say one time, my worst day clean is better than my best day using.
I heard that too, though. And that
that
was fire.
Oh, really?
I thought it was fire because my worst day clean was.
It sounds powerful,
mm-hmm.
Man. They said that to me. I was like, you should have seen me on my 30th birthday. Fuck you. Dude. That was in no way, shape, or form was that a bad day.
Yeah.
You know, so don't tell me. But when I look back, my worst day clean and in recovery is far better than that last day. Yeah. Right? I got to give my disease the proper credit. Right? It wasn't all bad, but it's all the same disease, so it was.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So for me, I don't mask it. Mm-hmm. Right? I had a lot of really good times.
Yeah.
Before my life was unmanageable. Yeah. Right?
I understand that though.
I had a lot of good times, but I don't remember those times.
At all.
Right? I don't give the disease credit. Right? Because I was still sick, right? It's all the same disease as it was that last day. Yeah. So I only look back at that last day when I compare my life today, right? Yeah. If I find myself in that shitter, like, you know, man, I can't catch a break, right? If I start going down that fucking rabbit hole, right? Mm-hmm. All I got to do is remember that last day.
That makes sense, though.
Right?
Yeah. The last day was always the worst.
My last
day
in recovery is far better than the last day I used.
Yeah, my last day was... Ooh.
Did you hear this one? If you don't remember the last day you used, it's because you hadn't had it yet.
Yeah. I heard that before.
Now,
I was like, well, I'm glad I remember mine because I remember I remember what I was wearing and where I was at, what I smelled like and everything.
Yeah, buddy.
like for real. That's how I knew. But that's how I knew for 100% that I was done with it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew for a fact that 100%, especially when I had my spiritual awakening. Yeah. When you have that spiritual awakening, it's a feeling from you can't even explain it, brother.
When you give it to God, the fight is fixed.
It's fixed. Like you can't explain it. It's like you really it's like it's a physical, it's an emotional, and a spiritual feel.
Yeah.
You know, there's something that just clicks in you, and you just like, no more.
No more.
Yeah. Like,
right. No more. But we get every day, right? We get every day to prove it.
Yep.
Right.
One day at a time.
So I gotta be active, right, in my recovery. How can I do that? What does that even mean, right? That's such a, again, my thinking, like, that's such a cop-out bitch way of, what are you talking about being active and helping somebody else? Right? Helping myself, educating myself in some capacity about recovery.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
About how to live today.
Yeah.
Right? About how to live better today. How about, improving my relationship with God. Right? Praying. Being active, right?
Yeah.
In the recovery process.
Yeah.
I've got people very close to me, in my life today that come to me that I help, right, in recovery.
Yeah.
And I cringe every time I hear them say, "Man, I'm getting a job." Because we will give everything to that job, right? And something that I have a very good understanding about today is that work is not recovery.
No.
Right? Social acceptability or social level up, is not recovery.
No.
Right? Those are byproducts of what your recovery is capable of providing you.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing else
most definitely
is more important than my recovery. So if I work 10 hours today, I owe myself, right? I owe it myself. I have to put the work in.
Yeah.
Right? I have to do something active in my recovery. So again, these are things that work for me.
Yeah.
These are things that are going to, I can say they work for me because I have a track record of success now, in recovery.
Yeah.
My life is far better in recovery than it was in active addiction under the control of my disease. So,
I like that saying you said too, though, about how addicts, they get out, they say, "I'm going to get my life back."
Yeah.
And it's like, you want that life back for real? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it don't make sense to go back and try to chase that life again. So we find a new way to live, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And that's definitely, man, it's so important, man, that like as a recovering addict, that I find a new way to live, and just by giving too, though. Giving actually, it helps me a lot too.
Yep.
Like just being able to be counted on instead of counted out.
Yeah.
When the counted out become the counted on, it's a beautiful feeling. And it just helps me drive more. Like, seriously though, just be able to pick my children up, be in my own home and pay my bills on time.
Yeah.
Just normal people stuff. Like,
that's the other shit. That's the bitch of it, is that the outside world, right? What do you mean you should have been doing this all along? Yeah. Right? Like we're just striving for some sort of normalcy.
Just normal stuff, man.
Right? Like we were using drugs to be normal.
To be normal.
Right? Our aspiration was always to have this easier life. Yeah. We thought we could find it in drugs. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. It's motherfucker's baffling.
It is definitely baffling.
It is. And it's insidious too. I don't forget that it's not out there lying in the tall grass. Scoping me out, waiting for me to start working on, working under my control again, taking my own will back, right? Yeah. And going off this way, and that motherfucker gonna sneak up on me.
Hey, what's up, Bobby D?
Remember
me? Forgot about me?
and It could be, you know, the circumstances will always be. You ever talk about coincidence?
Yeah.
Like I always used to believe in coincidence. What a coincidence.
Yeah.
Right.
Nah,
like now I know there's no such thing as
thing.
coincidence.
No.
Like if I'm operating under the control of my disease, I'm going to get some disease shit to come with it.
Man, 100%.
Right? If I'm operating on God's will, I'm going to get some blessing.
Some blessing.
You know, life is going to come at me in that regard.
Yes.
I'm going to get what I'm looking for.
Yes.
I'm always going to find what I'm looking for.
Yep.
You can't hide it good enough.
Yep.
Right? So, you know, what am I looking for?
No, you get what you put out.
Exactly.
You know, and what you see, what you receive in the world is what you dishing out, the energy you dishing out. I'm a firm believer in energy.
100%.
So if you operating with a piece of shit attitude, you think the worst of everything, nothing's gonna be good. That's exactly what you're gonna get. You know, that's exactly what's gonna happen to you. You're gonna have bad situations. You're gonna run into bad people. You're gonna have negative outcomes of everything because it's the way you're thinking.
And that's what you're looking for.
And that's what you're looking for.
Misery loves company.
Misery loves company.
Right? You know, you always gonna get exactly what you put out.
Man. So yeah, that's just so real though. So man, and this road to recovery, I've found so much like this inner peace and just gifts that, man, like I'm just amazed. I'm just waiting to see what the Most High gonna take us both.
Yeah,
you know?
Man, it's you know, something that that I know for sure is that if I ever want to make God laugh, I'll tell him my plans.
Tell him your plan,
right?
Oh yeah.
So I don't even like I have goals, but I don't really. I don't put a cap on anything.
No.
And anything is possible.
Mm-hmm.
And the road I'm on, you know, nothing that I'm ever going to have, right, was a result of me, right, anymore.
Yeah.
I have an opportunity, right, through God's grace and mercy, right, and if I achieve it, right, it was through His will.
Yeah.
So you know, like I am never, I am never going to limit the possibilities with my own ideas. Yeah. Right, because I will always sell myself short.
Every time.
And at the same time, if I have expectations, right, I'm completely disregarding God's plan. I'm completely disregarding God's will, right?
That's
because
real.
what will be, will be.
Will be.
Right?
That's real.
So if I have expectations, I'm only setting myself up for disappointment. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And now I'm on that backward slide, man.
Backward slide. Yep. That's real though, man. Because we don't like we set up we'll accomplish one goal, right? Then it's like, okay, what's the next? Accomplish that goal, it's like, okay, what's the next? Accomplish that one, okay, God, where you take me to now? And as we knock down these blocks, that's how this is how I perceive what my future would look like. Because I do want to be somewhere in life. You know what I mean? I want to be further than I want a lot of things. I want God to use me and you to do the works that He's got out for us. And you know, and so just knowing that we here right now, that we're able to sit and look at the camera and speak to people and kind of tell your truth, like in your story, man, how God is just the Most High, our high power has just, man, just using us right now, man. Like I know that, man, He has so many plans and goals for us, you know, and we just chopping them down as they come.
It eliminates the possibility of disappointment.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. And it also eliminates the feeling of, okay, I made it, so now what? Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. It keeps me from ever being too low or too high. Yeah. Because this is unrealistic and this sucks. Yeah. Right?
So it's gotta be a balance.
So it's gotta be right here.
Yes, sir.
You know, I've searched for a name of that. Like I just want to be happy, Vince. You aiming too high.
You aiming too high.
Right. Like happiness is Vincent asking me if I want to be a guest on his podcast.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Holy shit. Like damn, that's awesome, right? Mm-hmm. And then sad, right, is you know, we all know what causes sadness, loss or
a lot of things.
life change, so we don't want to be here. Yeah. We don't want to be here. That's happiness, right? I consider happiness like a privilege, a blessing.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, most definitely.
And I consider sadness, right? I consider sadness an opportunity to persevere. Yeah. Right? Like an opportunity to be there for someone else who's experiencing this with me. Like, true. True. I need to go through it. Mm-hmm. Right? There ain't no going around it anymore. No, okay. Right? So there's here and there's here, and it's like I just want to be right here most of the time. Yeah. So that I can appreciate
when you get there
the happiness, right? And I don't have to self-sabotage or try to avoid because this seems so bad. Amen. So what is that? Like what do we call that? And whatever we call that, right? I call it serenity. Peace. That's my peace. That's my baseline. Yeah. Right? And I've become very aware of that. Yeah. Right? I talk to God about keeping me there when I, or getting me there when I feel here. Mm-hmm. And then it's okay to go from here, to here. Thank you for that. Gratitude makes it okay for me to go from happy to balance, to
Amen.
Peace.
That's true.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Right? And selflessness, right? And goodwill, right? And surrender takes me from down here back up to baseline. Yeah.
Surrender is the key.
It is this shit sounds so crazy. But it's what makes sense today. Yeah. Hey, it just makes sense today.
Make all the sense
I give anything if you could have convinced. No, I'd take that back. I wouldn't give anything. But I do wonder what God would have had in store for me had I had given him the keys. A long time ago. Yeah.
I think, for real, I used to say the same thing, but now I'm a true believer that I had to go through.
I had to
go through these things.
There's nothing you could convince me. There's no. That's why I'm no hostage to my past, Vince, is because there's I couldn't have been convinced. Yeah.
Like we had to go through these things
to
get to where we are now.
And I can be the recovering addict. I can be Bobby Ducat. I can be Bob Ducat. As God intended today as a result.
Because if you think about it, if we didn't go through what we went through, how would we be an impact for somebody else? Man. To help somebody else, to teach somebody else, to show somebody else. Like, hey man, I've been there. Follow me.
Yeah, my experience.
Or follow. Take my advice. Trust in him. God uses the addicts, man. That's my opinion. Yeah. I feel like he really uses the addicts to draw him closer to him, draw other people closer to him. Like he said, if you want to
listen, I know this. As long as I'm with him,
yes, sir.
Right? Mm-hmm. I'm never going back.
Man, hey man.
So
ever.
Like I said, the fight is fixed.
Mm-hmm.
No, right? Like
100%.
Perhaps one day he'll convince me that the fuck word is a bad word. But you know what I mean? Like we're taking baby steps.
He knows our heart is good. We are believers in Christ, man. And we're here.
I am so, again, like You ever look back and don't even remember the thought, like, I don't even remember the way I used to think.
No.
You know, like,
I don't.
I can remember the experiences
Yeah.
as a result, but it's like, what's that fucking, what was that movie where they like completely zap your memory or some shit? Men in Black.
Yeah. No,
that's
real.
exactly what God has done to me. Like, you ain't thinking no more like that, you know?
Yes, brother, because I'm glad you put it like that, because I was sitting here writing my journal the other day, and I was actually like writing something like that, like, man, God, I'm so glad you renewed my mind, because like the way I am now is totally bipolar. It's polar opposite of what I used to be. Like, and the only way I could have got here was because of you. You know what I mean? That's the only reason. The renewing of your mind is real. Like, you know, you have to change the way you think, how you see and perceive, your perspective on life has to change in order to be for this recovery to work. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I definitely feel you on that, man. Like, it is like Men in Black, get that button.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hold on, where I'm at?
Do you
I'm on the couch? Like, how I get on this couch? Oh, I'm here. This feel good. Oh, I like this. I ain't going nowhere. No, don't hit that button again. Don't hit that button again.
You know, like, like that table would have been perfect. You know, years ago.
Perfect table.
Shit. But now it's just a table. Like, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But it's nothing short of a miracle.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, to me, I can look at myself in the mirror and you know, I remember having to pick up the glass because I, busted that thing.
Yeah.
You know, and today I can look in the mirror and see the miracle.
Yeah.
You know, that truly exists, and there is nothing more valuable to me than being comfortable in here.
Yeah.
You know, that is the most. It's the most priceless gift that I could ever, be given, and who could give that to me? That's it.
So, just to be able to look in the mirror every morning and be proud of what you see in the morning, that's a gift in itself. You know, just to be able to say, man, I'm over here now. Okay, God, what you gonna do with me today?
Let's do this.
I surrender my will to you, Most High. Just show me my way, guide my footsteps, be the lamp of my pathway and the light under my feet. I surrender my will unto you. Thy will be done, not mine. You know what I'm saying? And it just seems like it works.
Thank you. You know,
you have bumps through the day.
How hard is it for, why doesn't every addict get it?
Man.
You know, that's the, man.
A lot of us be in our own way, like we said.
Yeah.
A lot of us. I mean, just even working with them, you know what I'm saying? My other occupation is, my CDCA, just kind of work on it. It teaches me, like, I think God put me in that situation to teach me more patience with his people. You understand?
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of patience with people that don't understand, like, the logic and surrendering your will to help you with this disease. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then it gets to a point where, again, helping others, right, helps us.
Yeah.
Right? As we grow, as I established a relationship with me, right? And I loved me, which was the toughest relationship I've ever experienced. Right, the toughest getting to know somebody, the toughest honeymoon phase, right? I went from somebody that was trying to end it, right? To end any possible relationship. I was trying to end life, right? As this person, because I hated this person so much, right? To love this person,
man,
that was a fucking process.
Right? Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And again, that's those. I live like you. Seemingly alone, right? Like me, the dog, Peppers,
I see. I said that must be Peppers.
Just me and her, right?
Yeah.
So it would be very, you know, it was very difficult to have to spend the time necessary to get to know me, to establish a relationship, to learn to like, and then learn to love. Like, that was a very tumultuous time in my recovery. But I did it, right? One day at a time.
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 And eventually, right, there were things I had to come to terms with. There were things I had to accept. Right? I didn't kill my grandfather. Right? I had to make right. I had to make right with God. I had to give me a shot, right? And then every day, and I couldn't use. Right? So eventually, you know, that happened. Now that I'm you inspired, like, how long in my recovery was I going to be pushed over the ledge before I wanted to get back in the gym, right? And I'm like, you came into my life, and that, you know, it's like, man, I cannot let this dude be running circles around me in this thing, and look, you know, so you know, it's been almost, you know, 6 months now in my, you know, physical, you know, in the physical portion of my recovery, when I'm getting my body right.
Moving.
Yeah. And you know, again, I love me today. So now my recovery has taken a totally different path. I can't forget about the self, right? I can't forget about my own recovery. My own recovery has to come first. Right? But now, for me to get out of recovery, right, that high, right, what I'm chasing, right, is to help somebody else.
100%.
Right? So now I can take what I know and what I've learned, right, my experience, strength, and hope, right, and I can pass that on. And you know, it's a vital portion of where I'm at, you know, where I'm at today. It's the same as it is, you know, as for you. We get to do this, you know, get to do that together. One night a week. And it's an incredible, you know, an incredible experience. But when you it's again, it's such a blessing. It's such a miracle, because although I know I'm not responsible for somebody else's recovery, right? I know my part in it, and that's good enough. And when it happens, Vince, when somebody else, you know, gives themselves a chance to start being able to spend time with themselves, and being able to like themselves, and then learning to love themselves, and you've been with them on that whole journey, right? It is
it's surreal.
Again, just another miracle, man.
Man.
Just another miracle.
I love it. Like, I love it.
It almost, maybe it is better than how it was for me, right? When I can give that back, and see it happen, and they don't have to thank me, although we learn to, you know what I mean? We learn to do that, respect and humility, right? To see somebody else get their life back, and not get their life back, find a new way to live, and consider it a blessing, and
it's
grow.
It's a beautiful sight. It definitely is a beautiful sight. Because I don't know, it's you know, when we go speak, and just to hear somebody say, "Hey man, can you be my sponsor?" You know what I mean? It's like, it let me know that God is really using us. Like, God is really, I never, like, not so soon. You know what I mean? So it just let me know that God, I'm doing God's work, and I'm in the right place with the right person at the right time.
Always.
You know what I mean? I'm doing what's right. You know, and I just receive it. Like, then to be in there with you, you know, that's even more of an honor for me, because I'm like, damn, I'm watching you like, damn, okay.
I see how you work in the program. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be around people that's working the program.
Yeah.
And, you know, like we said, the opposite of addiction is connection. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, so being connected with people that are actually working the program is vital to recovery.
Man, the program, it's so funny you say that, because the programs, you know, there's two sides, right? There's people that obviously, millions of people that have found recovery through a 12-step program, right? Mm-hmm. But then there's the people that want to reinvent the wheel, right?
Yeah.
And whenever you know, coming up with a different solution, it's like we got to give that one a bad stigma, right? You know, my first 12-step meeting, I was 17 years old, and I was in high school. They made me go to AA.
I can just imagine young Bobby D. Like,
my dad was there. My dad was petrified. Like, what the fuck is gonna come? He oh God, this could be bad.
Yeah.
You know, I just sit there and bit my tongue, and we got out of there, and I was like, they said I got to go to like 2 more of these things, Dad. That ain't happening. This motherfucker, you know.
And now look.
But it's so, you know, I'm not a part of a 12-step program.
Yeah.
Because it's my life.
Yeah.
That 12-step program has shown me, right, what life can be like.
Yeah.
Right? I literally have found that new way to live. That has given me a path to it. Right? So what do you do when you're grateful? Right? You give back.
Yeah.
Right? Like you pay it forward. Right? So that's you know, I there's no mystery where I would be if I did not have a clear path.
Yeah.
Right? That I could sink my teeth in, that I could give it my all to. Right? A clear path to recovery.
Yeah. Right?
If I'm trying to figure that out, you don't want me looking for nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Straight up.
So I'm, you know, I'm not confused about where I found my path to recovery.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm grateful for it. So I'm going to give back.
Give back.
Right? And reward the program for what it's given, you know what I mean? For what it's given me. In hopes, right? In faith, in hope that I can give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Right? That same gift.
You will though, because you got a lot to give. You have a lot to offer the program. You know, you do. Like 100% though. Somebody's watching Bobby D.
Man.
Not only me. You know, somebody else is watching Bobby D, man.
And that's you know, again, that's why, you know, I will always be active, right? That's why I stay active in this jungle that they call recovery, because
it's some sharks in this game too.
Oh yeah.
But not I don't say a game because it's not a game, but it's some. Just from my observation,
sure.
You know, people that I can learn what not to do.
You mean people will talk the talk, but not walk the walk? You mean there's still people putting masks on? You know, again, man, people as humans, we are only given the opportunity, you know, to lie or be honest. Yeah. We're given that free will to cheat or be honest, right? We're given that opportunity to be, you know, genuine or disingenuine, right? It's that choice. Yeah. And nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
Right? But I'm a much better judge of character through not being responsible for picking right. Yeah. I'm not responsible for picking right, but I am responsible for my recovery. So
that's it.
I let you know, people come to me, and when I want something from someone, I've been very blessed to that I didn't have to make those hard choices with those people. God made those people very evident when He put them into my life.
Amen.
That my circle, you know, is strong.
Amen.
And my support is
Amen.
my support is
That's real.
Undefeated.
Undefeated.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
they're
That's so true.
heavyweight champions of support.
Yep.
Ain't no doubt.
So I got a question, like one more question before we end it. Like what's like in recovery, like what like admirations or like vision do you see yourself like in the future with recovery?
More will be revealed.
More will be revealed.
You know, if I answered that, I feel like I would be a bit hypocritical.
Amen.
You know, anything that I could muster up and answer that question would truly, I would just sell myself short. I am so good with right now, right? Right here.
Yeah,
I have become so comfortable being uncomfortable, right, in the moment, right, with right now, that you know, I'm not possibly overwhelmingly or dangerously here, and certainly not capable of getting too low here. Today, right? So that being said, you know, Vince, I'm gonna stay the course.
Yeah.
You know, where that course takes me, I have no doubt that it will be wonderfully gratifying, right?
Yes.
And I have no expectations, so there will be no disappointment with the result. But ultimately, I'm not choosing that destiny.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I'm not choosing.
We try to choose our destiny. It'd be like disappointment. No, for real.
You know, that truly. I mean that as sincerely as can be. I'm doing things today that I've never been able to do, or never muster up the strength to do, or never become willing to do. You know, and that is all the evidence I need to stay the fuck in the passenger seat, right? Because, you know, I wake up early every morning. I do right by me physically. I'm becoming physically healthier, right? I'm more mentally fit than I've ever been before, and spiritually, I am so whole, right? That what could be better than right now?
Amen.
Right?
What could be better right now?
So,
amen.
This is, you know, life is such a gift today, and I'm just glad that today I'm living it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. That's fire, man. Like, I definitely agree with you, because like you're saying, we only got today. You know, we only live it for the day. Tomorrow's a mystery, yesterday's history. So we gotta focus on the day, man. So yeah, I felt you on that, brother. Like, for real, 100%. I felt you on that. Man, this has been a fire. I love it, for real.
This has been my pleasure, man. This is awesome.
I'm truly blessed and honored to have you here, man, for my very first Raw podcast interview, man. I hope y'all love it, man. Before we go, like, what is something that you can give to the people, like some type of motivation or something that you can feed to the world that might be going through some of the similar situations that we went through in our walk of life? You know what I'm saying? You can't.
I mean, I got you, I think.
Just kind of look at the camera.
Don't worry. Oh yeah, we got the technical difficulties here. Don't worry about tomorrow because it's only going to steal your joy right now. Yesterday made you stronger for what you experienced today, and if you worry about tomorrow, you're only going to steal your joy today. So find that balance, find that peace, give yourself time to get to know that beautiful person in the mirror. And Vincent, this has been incredible. Keep coming back, right?
Keep coming
Keep
back.
coming back.
Keep coming back.
This is something. I never thought I'd be on a podcast. I never thought I'd know somebody that had a podcast. But
this is my way of giving back.
Yeah, man.
This is my way of God using me to
know that you're loved. Know that you're loved, and don't take that for granted. And when you think you're alone, always know that that God is with you, and you're alive as evidence. Amen. So, thank you, man. This is I'm overflowing right now. What time? Let's run this back. Shit, I don't care. We can do this all night. This is awesome. So
I really appreciate you, though, brother,
yeah,
for coming to support me, man. Man, I appreciate your words of encouragement that you give every day, man, on a regular. I appreciate just being with you. I appreciate God just for having a person like you just coming to my life, man.
Yeah,
for real, like 100%, man.
I love
this guy. This guy love you too, brother. You know that. This guy is amazing, man. Bobby Ducat, man. Tap in with him, man. This guy is truly amazing, man. He's definitely. When I see him, I see God's work on him, man. This is just 100% true for me. This man has really encouraged me every day. Every morning we wake up, he hit me with a text message, something empowering and just to see him walk in his walk, it motivates me. So what this interview is, I hope just hearing him speak and him tell his story, just a small portion of his story, I hope it can motivate somebody out there that's sick and suffering, that's trying to find a way, just don't know how to start, And the key thing is just starting. Just want to do it, you know what I mean? Surrender your will to the Most High God. I promise you, He will take over everything for you, man. But it starts with you, This has been a raw, rare, and real interview with yours truly, Vincent. And I thank you, brother Bobby D, man. And I love you, brother. Yes, sir. Give it. Yes, sir. Love you, brother. Yes, sir. Love you too, man. And like, subscribe, and share if you want to see more footage of real, raw, and rare convos. This has been the interview from Raw Conversations. I love y'all, man. May God be with y'all. Don't forget, renewal of the mind may change everything in your life. Please believe it. You the witnesses right here in these tears, man. God love you. All praise and glory to the Most High God.